Rage games. Games that are meticulously designed to make you want to destroy your device. Roblox is no stranger to these games, with even some iconic moments originating from them. But recently, a new rage game has popped up, and it's called Steam Happy. And like all the rage games, it's gotten quite the like ratio. This game has some of the most annoying game design ever, with even one of the stages taking hours to complete. This game has torn friendships, made people scream, and killed people in-game. So naturally, I wanted to beat it. Got a person who's trash at obbies and just Roblox in general beat this stupid yellow emoji. I mean, maybe it shouldn't be that hard. Oh crap. Whenever I joined the game, I looked at all the challenges around me, ones I would conquer, ones I would crash out at, and nah, just kidding. I joined the game, skipped the little homeless dude begging for money, and went right into beating the game without even looking ahead. The first stage was really easy. Also, the reason this is here is because this was live streamed, and you can also tell because of the absolutely horrible video quality. It was mainly just for the first part, so I'm going to try to speed through this part so that you don't have to count the pixels on the screen. After quickly finishing the first level, I went to these guessing walls and started guessing some characters. I got stuck on this one despite the little Steam Happy beside it literally giving you the answer, and after I got past that, we made it to this balloon level, which I ended up finishing quickly. The next few levels were pretty simple too. I jumped over these balls, got into a car with the worst turning I've ever seen, just to dodge these things that I don't even know the name of, dodged some fruit, cooled this water or hot lava, I don't really know what it is, did some invisible platforming that really messed with my depth perception, dodged some thwomping Steam Happies, even more fruit, somehow screwed this up, baited out some traffic, Squid Game, more Squid Game, more fruit, and then finally platformed on some platforms where red dots were playing ping pong. But then I got to this stage. Now, this stage doesn't seem like much, it's just a really long ladder. But the difference is, these two blocks actually kill you whenever you touch them. But on this stage, you get the leap ability to do a short little jump. Now, normal people would just, jump off the ladder and then leap over the two blocks, right? Now, there is kind of a specific angle you need to do this in, but any normal person would just do it straight from the ladder. I mean, who would take it at a different angle, right? Oh. Yeah, I did pretty much every other jump angle than the one I was supposed to. I did eventually get it, and then come back later and do it just to realize how easy it was, but after that, I jumped into a pool of Steam Happies and made it to the next stage. Which I also had a problem with. The gimmick for this stage was that sometimes you would just randomly freeze midair and be unable to move. This would also make you unaffected by platforms, which sucked because half of the stage was midair moving platforms. And as you can tell, that gets pretty annoying. After a little bit of trying, I managed to get the freezing times down, but I did get a little cowardly when waiting for some of these floating platforms. After finally getting on them, I got lucky and survived this encounter, and finally made it to the walls of the stage, which I then managed to pass by pretty easily. And then after that, I finally got past this blue thing, and made it to this next stage. This next stage was simple. All you had to do was walk around the bananas, which I did first try. This next stage, you had to dodge the walls and these mini Steam Happies that would come out of the ground. Seems simple, right? Well, yeah. Unless you're extremely unlucky and trash. It actually took me a stupid amount of attempts to get this, because anytime I would almost beat it, the stupid platform on the bottom would kill me, or I would get hit by the wall. After a lot of attempts, I finally managed to beat that stage and move on to this desert one. I did the first part of the desert stage, which was running through the desert with cactuses, and honestly, I thought it was abnormally easy for this game. Next, I jumped over some ropes, which if I tripped on them, I would die, then I dodged some axes, which if I hit them, I would die, and then I dodged some spikes, which if I touched them, I would die. You know, the usual temple stuff. Then, I got to this part of the stage, which I initially got a little confused by, but then realized I just had to follow the direction of the light. After a while of following the light, I finally made it to this room, which had a gust blowing against the platform. I jumped into it and died. There was no checkpoint. I love Steam Happy. Steam Happy is so cool. Best game ever. Totally didn't hate redoing this. So fun. Love Steam Happy. Steam Happy for life. Yay. Go Steam Happy. Hooray. Whenever I finally made it back to the stage, I first tried it this time so that didn't happen again. Then there were these fire geysers, which were surprisingly easy to dodge. And then after that, I finally made it to the relic. Which I didn't really have a reason to take it, but, you know, relic's a relic, so I took it anyway. Which was a mistake. Yeah, this random screaming mummy Steam Happy started chasing me. But it was fine, because I was dodging every single spike, every single lava pit, not a single thing was hitting me. Finally, I was locked in. This might have been the first stage I was going to first try. Oh, it's fine because there was a checkpoint right before it, so I just did it second try. It wasn't that big of a deal. I got to the end of the track and climbed the rope. I exited the temple to find one of my least favorite stages. Now, just by looking at it, it doesn't look like any more than one of those normal spinner levels you see in any other Obby. And then you jump on the platform. Yeah. You can imagine it's pretty hard to dodge the spinner when you can't see the spinner or the platforms. It took me a lot of attempts to get this because I'd either fall straight off of the platform or get hit by the spinner I couldn't see. But once I got to the second half, I did it first try and moved on to the next stage. Which seemed to just be some simple platforming. It isn't like this game to give me a freebie, and I was right. It took me 30 minutes, and it was just Slenderman. I'm not going to explain to you what Slenderman is. I beat the stage. Let's move on. The next couple stages were pretty easy, so I'm just going to speed through them. First, I had to duck and cover over this Steam Happy wall. Then I had to dodge some axes and bombs again. Then there was the swapping platforms level, and not gonna lie, I kind of like the theme. Then I got to do a tower with a deep fried screen. And the camera actually glitched once and didn't deep fry it, but it fixed it later. Then I beat the first tower and got to do it with an even more deep fried screen, and you'll never guess what the level was after I beat that one. Even more fruit. After that, I did this annoying platform level that I did pretty quickly. Then I got a free trial of Monkey Ball. And then after I rolled up the final hill, I missed the checkpoint and then stepped on it and was finally here. Now, you may be wondering, what's so special about this specific stage? Well, this stage has the capacity to take hours of your time. You might think I'm joking, but it took Sketch 2 hours, and it took Bundun about a third of his entire playthrough. And now I was standing directly in front of it. Would it take me even longer, or would I do it faster than either of them? I don't know, but you guys seem to like seeing me suffer. So I hopped on stream and went in. When I entered, I was met with a single Steam Happy pellet. Oh. Yes, in this stage, you have to collect 369 Steam Happy pellets spread across 3 stages, all while this stupid toilet Steam Happy tries to chase you. Now, it doesn't seem particularly difficult, right? Well, yeah, until more Steam Happies decide to spawn. After you collect 92 pellets, this blue one shows up and it goes into the place it thinks you're about to go to try and cut you off. After you get 183 pellets, this purple one spawns and goes to you in a straight line based on where it is, which can get very annoying. And there's also a fourth one, but we'll talk about him later. Now, from just saying all of that, it may seem a little hard, but not flat out annoying, right? Well, listen to the audio. I don't know how Bundun did this for so long, dude. Oh my gosh. So yeah, not exactly prime conditions for a stage, but I was getting 300s pretty consistently using tricks from people who have completed it before. I was on a roll until one run, in which I almost beat it, but made a mistake at the end. And honestly, the mistake was really stupid. The start of the run was pretty good, because I was using tricks like going for the top and bottom first, so that I didn't get cornered by the toilet Steam Happy later. Before you knew it, I already had all 3 Steam Happies chasing me. And then I even got the highest amount of Steam Happy pellets I had gotten to at that point. And then it happened. The 4th Steam Happy showed up. Evil Steam Happy, or whatever his name is, I don't actually know. But then right as he spawned, I fell. All of my progress had been restarted. But honestly, what the heck was that? Just based off what you saw, you might think this was something I did on purpose, just to like clip farm or something. But that's not what happened. Basically, I don't like jump scares. And whenever Evil Steam Happy spawned, he made a noise I had not expected, and it made my wrist shift my mouse, which caused my camera to move, and because I had shift locked on, it changed my direction and made me run off the map. I told you the mistake was stupid. After recovering from what just happened, a little longer than I needed to, I headed back into the temple. I didn't know how much longer I would be in there. Could be another hour. Maybe even as long as Bundun took. It would have been very unlikely for me to beat it right after I just fumbled that hard. Wait, why is Megalovania starting to play? Oh. Against all odds, I managed to make it back up to the 300s, and before you knew it, Evil Steam Happy spawned again. But this time, I didn't get startled. The Steam Happy pellets were scattered all around the map, and now with Evil Steam Happy, all of the other Steam Happies had reduced cooldowns for their abilities, making it harder to get them. But it was fine. I got every pellet, dodging every single attack, until I finally collected the last one, and the portal opened. After dodging so many attacks, collecting so many pellets, I finally escaped. I opened my eyes after I escaped to find, oh, even more levels. Yeah, we're not done. But compared to what I just went through, the next few levels were pretty simple. First there was this course, which I got through after a couple tries. Then there was this Sisyphus rock kind of thing. And I'm gonna be honest, there was zero mistakes the whole time. I had so much fun. So much fun. Then after that, there was this platform that spammed Steam Happy faces in your face while you had to dodge platforms, which I did surprisingly easily. Then I fished up a boss fight, but I'm really stretching the definition of boss fight here, considering this guy had like 3 moves, and the main point of this boss fight was a waiting game while you knocked out his absurdly large HP bar. After finally beating him, I moved on to this minefield, which I did really quickly somehow. Then I got to these tornadoes, and despite bonking my head against the sand multiple times, I did it pretty easily, and then moved on to this stage. And the thing with this stage was that it was a memory stage, and my memory kinda sucks. So yeah, this stage ended up taking a big clump of my time, and that was really swell. Then I jumped over these things, which was pretty simple, and then I got to this train stage. It wasn't necessarily hard, it was just kind of annoying because it's a little bit luck-based. But after a little bit, I finally made it to the end part, and missed the platform. Are we serious? By that point, I already had the strategy to beat the stage, but it was still really annoying when it happened. Then there was this green running stage, and I didn't really have to do much. It was just dodging spikes, dodging invisible bombs, and I died to a Steam Happy immediately. I made my way back and finished it, and after going through the footage, I can confirm not a single piece of fruit killed me. Then there was this weird upside down obby, which took me a couple tries, but I made it to the end easily. Then there was this stage. This stage was super annoying, tested my memory, tested my patience. Oh wait, wrong stage. Yeah, this stage was just a really annoying, really long minigame where you had to sort these candies good and bad and then only feed the Steam Happy good ones. It was literally just a waste of time. But then there was this stage. It tested my memory. It tested my patience. It tested how nice my YouTube live chat wanted to be. It was the Donkey Kong cannon game. In this stage, there are different barrel cannons that you have to shoot yourself into and try to get through the level by shooting yourself into the different cannons. Now, it doesn't seem that hard, but a lot of these barrels won't go to the angle you want them to, so you'll run into the wall and die. And a lot of the times, whenever you keep failing, you try to go faster, and then you miss the shot completely and go into the grass anyway. So as you can imagine, this stage gets pretty annoying, especially when you have no idea where to go or what to do. After more than my fair share of mistakes, I finally made it a decent length into the level where you had to shoot yourselves on these platforms and try not to land into the grass walls. After finally almost making it to the end of the level after a while, I finally got to this barrel and missed the shot. I have got to improve my accuracy, this happens way too often. I then went back to the barrel, made the shot, just to realize that I wasn't even going the right way to begin with. After finally making it back to the barrel, ignoring this arrow because Steam Happy sucks, I went downward and then finally followed the barrels and made it to the final one and finally escaped this stupid, mega stupid stage. After the white screen faded, I was met with a cave, and inside of it was a challenge where I needed to reach the end of the level without the timer hitting 0. With the help of time-adding cans, of course. I actually almost first tried this stage, but because I picked up too many cans that subtracted my time, I ended up dying at the very end, right before a can that would have saved me too. After a couple of embarrassing attempts, I finally managed to perfect the run and made it to the end with enough time for me to go and grab a snack. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have much to say about this next stage. It was just a maze where you had to find a button and then the exit before the sand got too high, and also while avoiding these random Steam Happies that would come at you at the walls. And I would be lying if I said these things weren't annoying. I ended up finding the button relatively quickly, but I could never find the exit before the sand got too high. So after way too long of attempts, I finally found the exit. And here we were. The final level. After hours of falling, doing stupid stages, getting killed by this stupid emoji. The end was right in front of me, so I walked forward. And died because this is a guessing stage. Yep, Steam Happy chose the very last stage of the entire game for you to just guess which direction to go. Man, when I'm done with this, I'm gonna find that Steam Happy and hit him really hard in the head with a hammer. Naturally, with a stupidly long guessing stage, it took me a while to find out where to go. But with the encouragement of the literal one person in my live chat at the time, I kept going. After taking forever on stage 33, after making fumbles for literally no reason, and after spending a stupid amount of time on this guessing stage, I had finally beaten Steam Happy. After being met with a piece of corn, a Bulbasaur, and what appears to be a golden statue of a monkey, I explored the finishers area, and then finally left the game with my accomplishment. I think it's safe to say, after blowing off some steam in this game, I was finally happy. Geez, that joke kinda sucked.